Blackwood Manor, a name whispered, never spoken aloud. The house stood on a hill overlooking the small town, a monolith of decaying grandeur. Its windows, like vacant eyes, stared out blindly. Vines, like skeletal fingers, gripped the crumbling stone. Few dared to approach it, and none stayed after dark. The townsfolk knew its stories, tales of sudden disappearances, of voices in the night, of cold spots and phantom footsteps. Blackwood Manor was a wound on the landscape, a festering reminder of a past best left undisturbed. But some wounds, it seemed, refused to heal. Eleanor Vance, a writer in search of inspiration, arrived in town on a dreary afternoon. She heard the whispers, the veiled warnings about the manor, but Eleanor, drawn to the macabre, saw not fear but opportunity. Here, in this house of shadows, she would find her story. The caretaker, a nervous man with trembling hands, handed her the keys. "Don't stay after dark," he pleaded, his voice a strained whisper. Eleanor smiled, a touch of arrogance in her eyes. She was not afraid, not yet. The house, she believed, held no power over her. She was there to unravel its secrets, to claim its darkness for her own. The first 2 days were deceptively peaceful. Sunlight, filtering through dusty windows, painted elongated shadows on the floor. Eleanor explored the house, each room a testament to a forgotten opulence. She felt a presence, a subtle shift in the air, but dismissed it as her imagination. The third night, the silence broke. A low hum resonated through the house, a discordant melody that seemed to emanate from the walls themselves. Eleanor, startled, sat up in bed. A cold draught snaked through the room, chilling her to the bone. The humming grew louder, punctuated by the faint strains of music. A waltz played on a distant piano. Fear, icy and sharp, gripped her heart. Drawn by the ethereal music, Eleanor descended the grand staircase. The ballroom doors stood open, beckoning her inside. As she stepped across the threshold, the music swelled, filling the room with a melancholic beauty. She was not alone. Ghostly figures, shimmering and translucent, waltzed in the centre of the room. A man in a tattered military uniform, his face a mask of sorrow, held a woman with vacant eyes and a flowing white gown. Other couples, their features blurred and indistinct, swirled around them. Eleanor watched, paralyzed by a strange mix of terror and fascination. She was an intruder in a spectral soiree, witnessing a tragedy played out on an endless loop. The figures in the waltz turned towards her, their ethereal eyes locking onto hers. Eleanor, her breath catching in her throat, stumbled back in fear. As she did, her hand brushed against the tapestry hanging on the wall. The tapestry, depicting a scene of a family picnic, rippled like water. To her horror, she felt herself being pulled into the woven scene. She struggled, but the tapestry held her fast, drawing her deeper into its fabric. The ballroom, the ghostly dancers, faded from view. She was surrounded by the figures of the tapestry, their painted faces twisted into grotesque expressions of mockery and despair. Eleanor screamed, her voice swallowed by the suffocating weave. Trapped within the tapestry, Eleanor became a prisoner of the Blackwood family's past. She witnessed their darkest moments, their jealousies, their betrayals, their descent into madness. The tapestry was a living record of their sins, a testament to the darkness that consumed them. She saw the military man, Colonel Blackwood, driven to madness by grief after the death of his wife. She saw his wife, Eleanor Blackwood, consumed by paranoia and driven to suicide. And she saw their children, neglected and abandoned, their innocence devoured by the shadows that haunted the manor. Through the whispers of the tapestry, Eleanor learned the truth behind the Blackwood family's demise. Their story was a tragic tapestry of its own, woven with threads of love, loss, and madness. The townsfolk's tales, once dismissed as mere superstition, now resonated with horrifying clarity. The sudden disappearances, the voices in the night, they were not mere figments of imagination. They were echoes of the Blackwood family's torment, forever imprinted on the fabric of the house. They were warnings whispered from beyond the grave to those who dared to disturb their eternal unrest. But amidst the darkness there was a glimmer of light. The tapestry revealed the story of the Blackwood's gardener, a kind soul who had tried to shield the children from their parents' growing madness. He had failed, but his love for them had left a faint imprint on the house, a beacon of hope in the suffocating darkness. Eleanor clung to his memory, to the faint hope that his goodness might be strong enough to combat the overwhelming evil that permeated Blackwood Manor. She focused on his image, on the love that emanated from him, desperately seeking a way out of the tapestry's clutches. Empowered by the gardener's memory, Eleanor ripped at the tapestry, tearing at the threads that bound her. The woven figures screamed, their faces contorting in rage, but she fought back, her terror fueled by a desperate will to escape. With a final, desperate tear, she broke free, tumbling back into the cold reality of the ballroom. The ghostly dancers were gone, the music silenced. Only the faint scent of decaying flowers lingered in the air, a bittersweet reminder of the gardener's presence. Eleanor fled Blackwood Manor, her mind teetering on the edge of madness. She carried the Blackwood story with her, etched onto her soul. The haunting, she realized, was not confined to the walls of the manor. It lived within her, a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurked beneath the surface of reality. The manor remained a silent sentinel overlooking the town. The townsfolk whispered that the music had stopped, the ghostly waltzes no longer echoing through the night. But the house still stood, a testament to a past that refused to be forgotten. And in its darkened halls the tapestry hung undisturbed, waiting for the next unsuspecting soul to stumble upon its secrets.